A question came in an email, and it said this. A question comes to mind. If we are playing in Satan's playground, as it seems to be, then does that mean Source, who creates everything, has no intention of helping humanity overcome? Because it seems everywhere you look, the dark rears its head. And this is kind of a common style of question and has two parts of it that I will address. The question in and of itself is a saviour-based narrative. A subtle one, yes, but it's still aligned with the old programs of someone or something has to come and save us. And this has never served our species well. The Draco came to save us 16,500 years ago, and how did that work out? The Pleiadian Alcyon group were the guardians here, and they sold us out for tech. And many other planets suffered the same fate against dark forces, and the key always was and always will be to save ourselves. As above, so below. There is a great mistrust amongst many species and races related to the wars of the past, but over time that can be repaired and healthy alliances formed, and that is underway. The second part is, it is my understanding this universe was part of a grand experiment done by the Source here to create a light-only universe, which is, in hindsight, not a great idea, as the light needs the dark for the lessons, and the lesson is to observe it, not absorb it. Dancing with it is absorbing it, as the Elites knows all too well, and it comes at a price. And what went on, it seems, is there was no parameters or markers of how to deal with the dark should they enter the light-only space. And this turned into a catastrophic error of epic proportions, and before they could react, 87% of this universe was turned dark by a fractal virus, and the highest council felt they needed to destroy the whole universe to stop it affecting the universal tree. All universes are connected to the tree. And this is no different to a plant or fruit tree. If one branch is infected, you would prune that branch to save the tree or the plant. And some felt at the time it could be saved, and a mission was undertaken to clear the universe from extinction and reverse it back, the dark infestation, and restore universe to balance of light and dark. That 87% is now down to near 60%, as I understand it, and close to the balance being restored. Now, to accommodate things further, the higher elements of the dark all need to be returned to Source, because the dark, or those elements of the dark, is badly out of balance within and of themselves. You are not meant to be 80 plus dark, ever. And that's how things went badly wrong. The dark have to be in balance, and so does the light. And the balance between light and dark has to be balanced also. You know, these people on the alt media, we have to eliminate the dark. The Source tried that here, and you saw the damage. that unfolded. The dark are there to teach us the lessons. So are the jinns. You observe them, not absorb them. The reality of our harsh world is about to kick into overdrive motion as the battle between light and dark, good and evil, and the old world and the new one is now kicking into gear. As one member put it in relation to the great die-off that is increasingly becoming more prevalent, the emotional devastation will hit us all with deep empathy. Maybe the second world of the three is now closer to fading away and out of our reality as discussed in Tuesday's show. And many will speak of the great loss and neglect the great gain they themselves make, or on a collective scale. The reality was we were all destined for the harvest as well. To die in a mass extinction event purported by the king the Elites all worship, Marduk. But unbeknown to them, they were destined for the harvest as well. Oops. And that's something they are struggling to comprehend or adapt to. And we have discussed at length the 85-15, and many now fear it will be less than 15%. And it brings up many questions and perhaps too few answers as to how things will all unfold. But the timing of the 2018 movie called Extinction may well be indicative in terms of time, but more indicative in terms of understanding. Who is who here and what is human? The concept of bots or synthetic people being run by machines is not well understood by many, even in the alt media. And one of the earliest to discuss it was a former ally now batting for the dark forces, Randy Morgans. But the great question is, if many people are bots and or synthetic machines, why would they need vaccines? Except it's not a vaccine, is it? It's a software update program. Are you connecting the dots now? Many of us are facing the reality now of being torn between the two worlds. Should I stick or should I twist? Old, failed world or new opportunity world filled with wonders, only limited by our own imaginations. What is family? What is blood? Who are the soul family, and does blood matter? What is real? What is illusion? What is an overlay? Are more Q&A for you all to address, process and make peace with. Fear has to become an observing phase, not an immersion process. Because the fears we don't face become our limits of experiences, understanding and life itself. It limits change, yet we all know why things have to change, and that starts with you. There can never be change without your input. You cannot do change in fear, only willing expectation. And it's all about the mindset and having the courage to break the patterns within yourself that no longer serve you. And in reality, most of them never served you, only the slave portion of you. The clowns wish to bring us their New World Order out of chaos, with the classic New World Order clowning of problem, reaction and solution. Let them carry on their own demise. They are doing a great Ouroboros program on themselves. Our focus is to rebuild the world and all of its components in our image based on the TPC guidelines. And so you bring your own order, not out of chaos, but of inner peace, inner comfort, inner strength, inner love, and inner trust.